Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for being with me on this journey. Today my special guest is Michael DeLone. Michael creates credibility. As the President of Paperback Expert, he helps business owners publish a book that positions them as the expert in their field. Business owners seek out Michael to clarify their brand strategy, become best-selling authors, and set up their profitable podcast. They use his credibility marketing strategies to gain more clients, referrals, and grow their revenue. Michael is the #1 Amazon best-selling author of On Marketing. Since 2013, he has worked with business owners across the US and internationally to establish and market their credibility. Michael is a husband and the father of 4. Investing time with his family, reading a great book, or facilitating growth in the lives of those around him are his passions. Welcome, Michael. Thank you so much for being today with me.
No, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. This is going to be a lot of fun.
I am looking forward. Your bio is very impressive, and I really want to learn more about publishing a book and how this can create credibility. But first of all, tell us more about your story and how you started on this path of helping others gain credibility through their book.
Sure. Well, my whole story about this began the day that I escaped from prison. Now, it's not a literal prison, okay? It was an emotional prison because I was in a job that I hated. My wife and I had been in a family ministry for about almost a decade. And the last 2 years of being with that ministry, was my prison term. Because they were putting me in positions that I wasn't qualified for, I didn't like, it wasn't using my skills. And so I prayed and asked God, I said, I got to get out of here. And he asked me what I wanted to do. And I said, well, I want to go help small business owners with marketing because they hate it and I love it. And that's my background before ministry was in marketing. And so on January 1st of 2013, I escaped prison and started my own company as a marketing consultant in Little Rock, Arkansas, where I live. And I'd come out and say, I think I can help you grow your business. You'd meet with me. We'd have a great conversation. And you'd say, Michael, what have you done for the last few years? And I said, well, I've helped build marriages and families. And you'd say, well done. That's awesome, Michael. Oh, look at the time. I've got another meeting. Let's keep conversing about this and set another appointment. And I wasn't getting any clients. And so I went back to my church and I prayed and I said, how do I help people with their marketing? And God just kind of spoke to my heart and he said, why don't you take all of your marketing strategies and put them in a book? So I did. So I published my book on marketing back in 2013. Then I would call you and set an appointment and I would mail you a copy of my book. And I'd walk into your office about a week later for our appointment. And there it was. My book was on your desk. It was dog-eared, highlighted, underlined. You'd read my book. And in that meeting, you would say, now, Michael, in your book, you said, how do you help me do that? And you'd hire me. And the next person hired me. And I thought, oh, this is really good. Now, what changed between those 2 meetings? Did my background and understanding of marketing change? No. Did my background in ministry change? No. What changed was how you thought of me. When you got a copy of my book, I instantly became an expert in your mind. And I'd walk into your office and you had pen in hand, ready to take down my solutions, right? That changed everything for me. And so I started asking the question, well, if this is such a great marketing strategy, why don't more business owners do it? Well, it's hard to write a book. It took us a long time. We figured it out. So we built a process, a system where we help business owners now create their book without writing a word. We do all of the hard work for them. We don't do the content, but we interview you. And then we publish your book to Amazon, make you an Amazon best-selling author, create your podcast, and then teach you how to market yourself as an expert so that you can gain clients and get referrals and grow your revenue.
Wow.
That was a long answer.
I love that. You sold me right there. So we don't even have to go on with the interview because honestly, even the story that you mentioned, it's incredible because I heard this a lot, to be honest, that a book can help you to get more clients, more referrals, but I never really understood how this can happen. Like what is behind? Okay, I write a book and then what? What do I do with that book? Because if you don't send it to other people, then it just stays on your desk. And I love that idea of sending it before the interview, and the way this increases the credibility. And this answers my question on how can we actually take advantage of this marketing tool. Is there something else that we should be aware of in terms of gaining credibility around this book? So you mentioned that we send it to them. What else can we do?
Oh, there's lots of things. We have all kinds of strategies. So you send your book to what I call precondition your prospect to hire you. Okay. So let's say you have a satisfied client. Okay. Let's say you're a financial advisor and you help people plan their finances or whatever. It doesn't really matter, but you have a happy client, and you'd say at the very end, you say, John and Mary, would you do me a favor? And they're always going to say yes, because they're happy with whatever you've done. And you'll say, you probably don't know this, but most of the clients we get don't come from all the advertising you see us do. They come from our happy clients. It'd mean a lot to me if you would take 3 or 4 copies of my book, and as you're talking with your friends in the next week or 2 or 3 about how we have helped you plan out your finances and your retirement, would you just hand them a copy of my book and say, this is the person we trusted with our finances. You should just read his book. Because you want to take your best clients and clone them, right? You want to replicate them. Well, they hang around people just like themselves. Now your client, instead of asking them, could you give my business card to somebody that you know? Right? Look, our financial advisor wrote the book on a safe, secure retirement. You should read his book, right? It allows you to get a lot more referrals from your existing clients, but it also allows you to go to centers of influence, those people who could send business your way, and make sure they have copies of your book in their office, in their lobby, on their bookshelf. Because that's when somebody hands you a copy of a book from somebody, immediately you think, oh, I definitely want to read it. I want to find out who this person is. And it separates you. Maybe it's the same in Germany as it is in America. When you were a kid, when you were in school, there was a line that you had to stand in, either to get lunch or to go outside and play, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, if you cut in line, if you went from the back to the front, you got in trouble. We got sent to the principal's office. That was not allowed. But in business, when you have a book, it allows you to ethically and legally cut in line in front of all of your competitors, and it separates you from everybody else because you're the expert. You're the one who should be in the front of the line because you wrote the book on it. And so it's an ethical way to cut in line and to get the attention of your prospects. That makes sense?
I love that. Absolutely. And I love this concept because, as I mentioned, I was not aware of how we can do that. And I know that you also developed the credibility calculator.
We did. Yeah. So we talk a lot about credibility. And as I started talking with business owners and asking them, what is credibility? Nobody had a good answer. And credibility really happens in the mind of your audience. It's how do they think of you? So our question was, okay, what are people looking for to determine your level of credibility? And so we created the credibility calculator. It's 20 questions, and in under 5 minutes, you can find your credibility score on a 0 to 100 scale. Then we'll give you 5 videos after that will show you what to do to increase your credibility in the eyes of your audience. Absolutely free. It's at our website. You can go and take it. Less than 5 minutes, you'll get your credibility score and know how to improve it. Because we talk about credibility, but nobody really knows what it is. We figured it out, and it's a free resource that we offer anybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael. Can you spell out the name of your website for the audience?
Sure. It's the website's very easily. It's paperback, like a book, paperbackexpert.com. It's awesome. Very simple because when you have a paperback book, right, you're an expert. So paperbackexpert.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Michael. I would like to ask you next, because I know that this is also a topic for many people. It is difficult to write a book. And I don't know if there is any easy way of doing it, if there is I don't know, framework that we could apply to write it faster and to just get out of all the information from us and just put it there. You mentioned something about interviewing people and you helping them. Can you elaborate a bit more on that?
Yes. Well, I tell people all the time, Dinah, never write a book. Okay. You always want to speak to write your book. So our process, we have writers who would interview you because our philosophy, our belief is that you have everything you need to create your book in your head and in your heart. Our job is to get it out of you. You can talk about your business all day long. Our job is to structure that, okay? So fast, easy ways is number one, create a Word document or a Google Doc. Build a quick outline. Think about the questions that your clients are asking you. What are the challenges your clients are facing? Write those down. Those might become chapter topics. Under each one of those, put bullet points of how you would address that, stories that would tie into that. And then once you have your outline created, create the document that you're going to speak your book into and start talking into a Microsoft Word document, and it will transcribe your words. And then your book is about 70% there. Now you can go back and edit it, or I'd always recommend really hiring somebody to do the final edit, but you could go back and now you're not writing your book, you're editing what has come out. That's the fastest, easiest way to get your ideas out of your head onto paper. So don't write your book, speak to write it, then go back and edit what you've said.
I love that. Thank you so much, Michael. And this reminds me of my period last summer. I was traveling in Europe, and I started just to record myself. I was asking questions to myself, and I was in this amazing landscape and just recording. And then indeed, I translated it. But I wouldn't say it's finished. I would say that there are things missing, and definitely then we can still add things. Are you helping people to really finalize the book and to really get it out on the market?
Yes, we take everybody from the very beginning that I want to create a book all the way through finished, published to Amazon, to Kindle, electronic PDF copies. We do everything except the content, right? It's your book. You're the expert. We're going to draw the content out from you. We'll write the book in your words with your voice, your tone, your stories, but it's your content, right? But we do everything else. And then we'll teach you how to market your book to grow your business.
I love
it's
that.
all with every book program that we offer comes with some of our strategies, some of our marketing strategies and systems, because we know just having a book isn't enough. Yes. The myth is you publish a book and the world will beat a path to your door. It just doesn't happen, right? You've got to know what to do with this. How do you use it to attract new clients and get referrals? That's what our systems are all about.
I love that. Thank you, Michael. And I know that you're also talking in your programs about the myths around the client conversion. And can you tell us what is the number one myth about client conversion?
Sure. The number one myth I hear in business is that I need more leads. Okay, we all need leads in business, but what I find is a business owner will do a webinar or they'll run Facebook ads and they'll get 20 leads. And of those 20, maybe 8 of them will take the next step and schedule a call. And out of those 8, you might convert 2 of them to a client. Well, then I talk with you and say, I just need more leads. And I'm like, well, what are you doing with the 6 people you talked with that didn't become a client? How are you following up with them and nurturing them? And I get that, that stare, that blank stare to go, I'm not doing anything with them. What about the 12 people who opted in, who haven't scheduled a call with you yet? What are you doing with them? I just need more leads, Michael. No, you've got holes in your bucket, right? You need to follow up with people for a very long time. Most people are not ready today to buy. They might opt in, they're researching, they want information. You need to make sure you're following up with people over a period of minimum 90 days, usually 2 years or more, through emails, through webinars, through micro trainings, through different events, to provide more information so that when they come into the market and are ready to buy, you're the first one they think of and the one they feel the best about. So you're the natural, obvious choice for them to do business with when they're ready. That's the biggest myth I hear in business.
This is my big mistake, I have to admit. Something
It's
that
everybody's.
I did when I started my business. And absolutely, I was also thinking the same, that I just need to get more leads. And I know that for some of us, it's rather painful to follow up.
Yeah.
What does it mean, follow up? You mentioned emails, webinars. What else can we do? And how can we make it easier or faster? Or is there a way of just, I don't know, scheduling something and let it run for a while? Is there an easier way out?
Yeah, there's no easy way, right? It all takes work. Everybody's looking for that easy button. And if it were easy, everybody would be a business owner, right? So what we do, we're big fans of email marketing. Once you get on my list, I'm going to email market to you on a regular basis. Now, we send out a daily email. Some people, that's too overwhelming, so send out a minimum of a weekly email. If you do a podcast, you could send that podcast out to your list. You could offer short webinars to your list and say, okay, you've come to me for, going back to our financial planner, right? You could run a variety of short educational workshops online to give people information. And at the end of that, you can say, we talked today about the importance of guaranteed lifetime income when you retire, right? If you have questions around that, just schedule a short 20-minute call with me and let's talk about your specific situation. And then the next week you come back with a different topic to the same audience because you're educating them. But you do that primarily through email, because once somebody's on your email list, you now own them. You can capture their physical mailing address to mail your book or a birthday card or an invitation or anything else. But it's consistency. And so you need some kind of a system to email your audience on a regular basis, minimum once a week.
I love that. Thank you so much, Michael. And thank you for being today with me and teaching us so many things. I learned so much in not even 20 minutes. Thank you so much. I would like to close our interview today by asking you, who are you serving and how can people contact you?
Sure. Yeah. Well, we serve small business owners, globally to help them serve more clients. So if you're a business owner and you would like to increase your credibility, then we could have that conversation. And the best place to get me is our website, paperbackexpert.com. And from there, you can reach me. You can find out what we do, how we might be able to help you. Schedule a call with me, and we'll go from there. So paperbackexpert.com.
Thank you so much, Michael. I am honored and I am grateful to have you in this show. Thank you so much for being with me.
You're welcome. It's been so much fun. Thank you, Diane.